Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. My name's David and this is my channel. Today's video is called The Only Two Choices We Have is Either to Resist or Allow. Through all of my particular journey, I have realized that these are the only two choices that we will ever have. And let's talk about this. You know, this place, Earth, I've heard it called like a master class. We're all getting our master's degrees. And I've learned that each one of us have the ability to either move in a negative way or to move in a positive way. Abraham Hicks would say, you know, you're this point in between and you can move down to fear or you can move up to love, the emotional scale. We've heard it talked about that way. I've talked about it before where you can move in the direction of fear or your lower self or your higher self. But either way, these two options are always going to be on the table in every second of our life. We can either react to life or we can allow it to happen. Now, one thing I've recognized is that this world is indeed a reflection. Somehow, some magical way, when it comes into you, it's done. There is really nothing we can do. The giving and receiving energies, whatever you receive back, regardless of what form and how it comes to you, is indeed coming from you. So therefore, what you give, you are going to receive. And this is what causes the reaction, is we believe that what comes in is not coming from us, right? So we believe they're in two different places. And I've learned they are in the same place, regardless of how it sees. You are interpreting everything before it goes out. And that way, as it comes back to you, it has already been interpreted, already been done. You are receiving exactly what each one of us are putting out. So because of that, we create our own reality. And because of that, you get back what you give. It's just as you give, you receive. That's the law. What you put out comes back. So now we have these two parts of us. Now, I know that we have all either have gone through, or experiencing situations and circumstances that we don't always like, whether if it's pain in the body. Just to let you know, right now, I have discomfort, a lot of discomfort in my back, you know. So this has brought in a lot of clarity, which is probably the reason I'm even doing this video, is because the clarity that's coming in from this. And my mind goes, what did I do wrong? Right? We all know that feeling. Well, I must have done something wrong. Or what if it gets worse? And as I sit back and hear this duality, this battle going on in these two places, from a third perspective, from that neutral perspective, it's fascinating to me, you know, because the one that says, don't want it to get worse, and the other one says, what'd you do wrong? They don't leave a lot of room for peace and joy and happiness. How can you be at peace and happy if your body is hurting or you're in some kind of pain and suffering? And it helps me to understand that what happens is I have two choices here. I can either resist it, and I can resist it easily by being worried about where it's going to go or trying to figure out where it came from. That's resistance. I'm resisting what's happening right now. Or I can allow it. And as I sit with those two, and I can feel them both in my energy, I allow this experience to be as it is. It just feels good. And if that requires me moving a little slower, training a little less, it's okay. I can allow this experience to be. And I encourage all of you, if you're going through similar situations, either in the body or maybe in your business, maybe in your money, maybe in your relationship with others, can you see, or can you look at it in terms of, am I resisting this experience, or can I allow this experience? You see. And you'll see that the determiner of how that experience is going to come In is going to be determined based on if you allow it or resist it. So that's it. The experience that we're experiencing is coming from us, even if we don't know it is. If we're experiencing some kind of suffering and pain, especially on the tremendous side, you can believe that we are resisting that experience. Experiences don't come in with suffering and pain. And that's what we have to kind of understand. The more we learn to allow whatever experience to unfold, you will see that the suffering and the pain and the tremendous pressure and contraction is us pushing against it. The experience itself, just like the pain in my back. This idea, don't push against it. Just allow it. Breathe in a little bit, you see, and allow it to come in the way it is. We are eternal. This is an experience. The journey is an experience, and the experience is real, but the world is not. It's always changing. It's always moving into something else. Putting your hand in water, it's already gone. It's already changed into something else. You can't hold on to it. Just like you can't hold on to this world. It's the sands of the desert. If you recognize it's always changing, always moving into something else. So the experience is real. The world is not. And these two choices are on the table all the time. I recommend take a look at it. Where in your life do you feel like you're suffering the most? And where in that experience are you resisting it? Are you allowing that experience to come in? Are you allowing others to have their own experiences? Or are you trying to change them or even help them or even trying to fix them? Because there must be some resistance for all those to happen instead of offering. Does that make sense? Offering to them a positive way to see it. You know what? I can't change how you feel about this, but can I offer you the ability to for your own sake, to say, can I find something positive? Can I extract something positive from this experience? Can I just go inside and say, I'm going to find something positive here? Because I came here knowing we came into these bodies, into this low vibrational world in order to, and we knew that we can either suffer and resist our experience from it as we heal our separation from our Father, from our source, or we can allow it. We knew it was going to be full of experiences, and we certainly knew it was going to be full of negative experiences that feel like they're missing something. And we knew that we were going to witness and look out at that world and see people resisting their life. How many people do you know that are resisting the experiences in their life? Probably a lot. I know I see it all the time. But can we allow them without resisting it with them? Can we allow them the experience that they have? Can we offer a new way of seeing it just by recognizing and saying, hey, is there a way to find something positive in your own way, in your own experience, versus trying to tell them or trying to force them? Can we recognize that if we do, regardless if it's ourselves or someone else that we know, or even someone that we love, they're allowed to move in the direction of negativity and resistance and suffering and pain, because they will always have the opportunity to move in the direction of positivity and allowing. Isn't that nice to know? We can go all the way down and then you can just switch and move in the other direction. There's no real risk, as Abraham Hicks talks about. You don't have a risk here. You're just learning and growing. You are eternal. And that needs to be on repeat in our minds. We are eternal. We are eternal. It's okay. You cannot get this wrong. Nobody can. And as we look out in the world and you're watching the news and watching situations going on, other people's decisions, other people's vibrations coming back in the form of a loop in their life, are you resisting it with them? Are you resisting their circumstance, their situation? Or are you allowing them? Are you seeing the positive in their experience, even if they can't? You see, that's what we came for, because we knew these decisions were going to be here. We knew that we can either resist our life or we can allow it. And we knew there was only one real choice, which was to allow life to be as it is. Allow it to come in the way it is and stay in a positive state, no matter what. No matter what comes in, I'm going to find something positive. That's the trick. I'm going to allow it. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to relax. And I'm going to allow this experience to be as it is. It's an experience. It's nothing permanent. Think about that. The experience is not permanent. That's the whole point of an experience. It changes. Everything here changes. Have you noticed that? But there's a permanent part of each one of us that is unchanged. It's changeless. So we are here for experience, but none of our experiences are permanent. So no matter how bad it looks, regardless if it's your experience or someone else's, remember, it's not permanent. The mind says, that's permanent. That's who they are. No, it's like emotion. It just moves and flows. It's like the ripples on the water. It just does. But deep down, there's a part that's still. Our goal was to find that still part, right? Through meditation, through allowing, through relaxation. But before that, or while we're doing that, we have to recognize these two are always going to be on the table. Connection, separation, right? You're identifying with your body, therefore in a defensive state, or identifying with your soul, the heart wide open. These two things, the past, the present, positive, negative, you see, resistance and allowing. Where are you resisting your experiences in your life? And is it possible to allow them to be as they are, regardless of how bad they seem? They're not permanent. And no matter what anyone you see out there is going through, that soul is eternal. It's an experience. You might be watching someone using that experience in a negative way and suffering because of it. But you could be sure they will, at some point, find and extract the positive from it. It does no good for any of us to look at something in our past and just continue to look at it and look at it and look at it and look at it. You're eternal. How long can you really look at something until you finally say, maybe I'm seeing this wrong. I need to see this in a positive way. Man, boy, was it a journey looking at it in a negative way, and I pushed the hell out of it. I just pushed it and pushed it and pushed it, and I just felt so much resistance and suffering and pain and separation and anger and frustration, you see, and fear. But when is it time to say, you know what, I'm going to find something positive in this? Because the negative doesn't work, and I'm tired of suffering simply because I'm resisting what happened, or resisting the experience, or resisting my lack of understanding of why it happened. You see, or not receiving the clarity. So instead, I'm going to let go. I'm going to relax. And I'm going to believe that this experience, no matter how difficult it is for me to see, I can extract the positive from it. I can find something positive from it. I can find a way to allow it, to forgive it. So I can find out, so I can recognize why it happened. Oh, I needed to experience this. There's more going on the soul level than we could possibly know from the body-mind level. But sometimes we are deciding to experience some of these in order to extract the positive from it. When I look back at all the things that happened in my life that wasn't fun, but I have extracted all the positive I possibly can, still doing it, of course. And you know what? I don't take any of it back. I'm happy it all happened. Something happens when you move from a negative position in your life to a positive in your life, and you start receiving the clarity. And then you start understanding, oh, what an interesting adventure and journey this is. I want to become a master at taking darkness and moving it back into light. Isn't that what we all want? So eventually we don't have to play this game. I don't have to go in the darkness first in order to find the light. I could just stay in the light. But until that happens, we're going to be going back and forth. And that's okay. We just can't invalidate the darkness, hate it, push against it, want to change it. We have to allow it. And as you allow the darkness, you automatically move into the light. Let go of your resistance, move into allowing, and you will see these two paths never meet. They are in our mind, and they are always going to be our choice, no matter what we experience. I hope this helps. Thank you so much for following along. As always, it is up to you what you receive. My blessings and my love to each one of you. Keep the comments coming. Hit the like button if you're enjoying these videos, and continue to subscribe. And as always, my unconditional love and appreciation.